Check, check, check. Check. I think it's working. I'm going to assume it's working. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Red Seat live stream. My name is Corbin. Mr. Money Mike Madness, by the way, before we even started this live stream today, he came in here and he gave, how many memberships is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 memberships to people in this community. Can we get some thanks? We get some thanks over to Mr. Money Mike Madness. That's pretty impressive, man. Thank you so much, Mike. I don't even know if you're here anymore. Buddy is just throwing out memberships before we even live. He doesn't even need the recognition. He needs nothing. All he wants is for more members to be a part, which, by the way, members only tomorrow night, we're going to be doing our bi-monthly trivia / giveaway. So should be a ton of fun. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to yet another Red Sea live stream, folks. We got a little bit of interesting news to talk about. Let me say hello to everybody first. Mr. Money Mike Madness, the money bags himself. I don't even know if he's here. Shooter, how are you? Scott, what's going on? Spencer, Moose, Matthew, Mr. Bob Dylan is here. AJ, what's up? Wraith, how you doing? Tommy, Sue, Jonathan, how are you? Brent, what's going on? Kevin, how are you? JB, what's going on? Yellow, how are you? DD, how you doing? Graham, what's up? My moderator, Robbie's here. What's going on, Robbie? I think I got everybody. Nope, there's Josh. Josh is saying hello. My camera's, so I got a new desk. Sort of candidly, I got a new desk. I wanted to get more space so I could fit potentially a second monitor, maybe a second computer. So I had to adjust all the angles on my cameras is the moral of the story, and I'm still trying to set it up perfectly. So if I'm a little bit off today, and it looks like you're kind of looking down on me, it's kind of because you're like a foot over my head right now. Still trying to get it perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. Makes it a little bit skinnier, you know what I mean? Mike, you just got in, man. You missed my entire spiel. I did an entire spiel thanking you were in the chat, but thanks again. While Mike is here, make sure we get some claps in the chat for Mike. 5 gifted subs before stream even started. Absolutely incredible. What's up, Jack? How you doing, Liam? You look up to me. Thank you. I think I was in the chat just dying. It's cold out there. So today we got a lot to talk about, right? We've got all the broadcasting changes that are coming. They also mentioned radio changes as well, so we can get into those too, which I think are actually kind of big. The second thing is we got our first look at what the pitching schedule is going to look like for at least the first couple of days of spring training. So I think obviously we could talk about that. And then I do want to talk about he's not top 10 at third base. I don't know. That's absolutely insane. Armando, hey, thanks so much for being here. And then I think I'm going to go into a little bit of a rant, I think, to start about this Triston Casas stuff. Because I sit here and I see the comments, right? AJ, Casas needs to shut up and play a full season. Oh, I think he means his fielding. Yeah, his fielding is one of the worst in Major League Baseball. That's not really a debate, right? The debate isn't, he's not a good fielder, right? But his offense is so good, he's a top 3 third baseman in the sport. And I don't think that's dramatic. In fact, MLB Network had it, ESPN had him as a top 3 third baseman. Right? We're not getting into Rafi right now. Here is why this Triston Casas stuff has driven me absolutely insane. It's driven me crazy, and it's the reason why I have not made a video on it, because I think I'm just gonna blow up on people, because here's the problem. Here's the problem I've had that drives me crazy is the same people that are saying Triston Casas needs to shut up and defer it to either the all-star third baseman, the face of the franchise, someone who's been here a long time, or their manager, also get mad when Rafael Devers speaks out about it, right? So you can't have it both ways. 2, a lot of people are also taking this out of context. For me, a lot of people either, 1, didn't watch the entire interview of Triston Casas, which I think is extremely important, by the way, to this context of what Triston Casas said, because you get the snippet and then you get the radio heads on WEI or 93.7 or whatever, and that's your entire take, right? Is you sit there and you take from them as opposed to taking from the original source, when the original source is right there on YouTube. All you got to do is go to the Red Sox channel. It's right there, right? So I think it's important to do both of those things first. My opinion on it is Triston Casas was asked a question. He answered it honestly. I don't see why this is such a big deal. I really don't. He's not the manager. He's not the GM. He's not going to be making any of the decisions around here. So what does it matter if he wants Rafael Devers at third base? 2, what were you expecting him to say? Rafael Devers, since Triston Casas has come up and been a part of this Red Sox team, who's been the face of his franchise? Who's been the quiet leader in the clubhouse, the lead by example player, the $300 million man? It's Rafael Devers, right? In all honesty, it probably would have been a worse headline had Triston Casas gone out there and said, boy, I really think they should replace Rafael Devers at third, right? That's a ridiculous thing to say. Of course he's going to stick up for his teammate. I sit here, and a lot of people say, just don't answer the question. This has been the problem with baseball for a very long time, is there's no personality, and that's a big reason why it fell off for a while. And that's not just me saying that. That is legitimate statistical evidence. You inject personality, you inject game, you inject a want to actually enjoy the players and not just the team on the front of their jersey, right? You start rooting for the players as well as the team. There's more vested interest in the sport. That's why there's such a big push. That's why they push Mookie Betts to have a podcast. That's why they have all these TikTokers down on the field to try and get interviews with these guys. They're trying to push their personalities, but his personality comes out and all of a sudden everyone's like, shut up and play the game, dummy. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Were his comments smart? No. Right? Ideally, you'd want him to go out there and say, look, I'm deferring, right? Alex Bregman, I'm deferring to the manager. Cora knows what he's doing. We'll figure it out, right? But at the same time, that's not Triston Casas' personality. So we're going to shun the guy for not being a robot, but then shun everybody else for being a robot? We got to pick a side here, folks. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I don't think, no, here's the problem. Here's the problem is people say, don't you think it added more fuel to the fire? Who on the team? Like, genuinely, my question is, you look at everything else coming out of spring training right now. It doesn't sound like anyone else has a problem with this. Cora doesn't seem to have an issue with it, right? He had everyone over at his house. I don't think that radio bit got played, or that presser bit got played on EEI or 93.7, where he's sitting there saying everyone was over at his house last night. They were joking, having fun. There was no issues. Alex Cora comes out today. He says, look, we want Casas to be himself on this stand. We want him to say what he wants, but it's my decision at the end of the day. That probably didn't get played on EEI or 93.7, right? So the only reason that this has become oh my God, are the Red Sox chemistry-wise falling apart before the season even starts is because people are making it a story. That's my entire point. Rafi's not happy. We know that. But Casas' comments aren't tearing this team apart. They're not. In fact, I'd venture to guess, if you asked any of these guys honestly, right, who's the face of their team, who do they want at third base, the guys who have been here, who have been with this team for a long period of time, Duran, Gonzalez, who's only been here for a year, right, Bayo, Cedon, they're going to say Rafi too because that's their dude. That's who they went to war with in the past. They don't know Bregman. Doesn't mean they don't respect Bregman. Doesn't mean they don't want Bregman on this team, but they're going to side with Rafi if they're going to be asked the question honestly. AJ, I want nothing but baseball back. I want nothing but baseball back. It's a good thing Bregman doesn't seem to care and just wants to win. Media's blowing this out of proportion. Everything's fine. In all honesty, that's kind of my take at this point too, right? Yes, Armando. There's footage of Rafi and Bregman laughing together, taking ground balls But we've got Jeff Passan on ESPN right before we went on here, putting out clips of, boy, if they don't figure this out, he's gonna want to leave. No. Am I going to opening day? Yes, sir. I got my tickets today. Does that make sense? And this is why I didn't want to make a video, because I knew because with the Rafael Devers stuff, I knew I could talk about it, not objectively. Obviously, I gave my legitimate opinion, but without putting people down. But there's nothing I can do here in terms of my opinion, right? That like it drives me crazy, because it's like these radio heads all for the last 10 years. Baseball players are robots. Where's the personality? We want to talk about the football players, or the basketball players, because there's drama there. And then all of a sudden, these guys have a personality, and it's like, just shut up and play the game like you're supposed to, boy. It's like, come on. Where and who do we play for opening day? Oh my God, I know the home openers against St. Louis. Texas, play the Rangers opening day. No, I think Vaughn Grissom has a legitimate shot, Javier. So I hope I made my points clear. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. What's the lineup for Friday? I can't find it. We are going to talk about it in probably a little bit. Corbin's voice is pure trauma for me. Mr. Money Mike Madness. The lineup out? Sure is. We're going to talk about it in a second. I think Bregman kind of puts a little pressure on Trevor Story to be effective in a good way. I actually think it's kind of the opposite, to be honest with you. I think it alleviates some of the pressure. Also, can you guys hear me okay? Grissom will be a Woo Sox? No. No, I don't think so. Can Bregman play short? If he has to, I guess. Am I doing any trips this year? Yeah, I'll probably take some vacations. Not baseball vacations, just regular vacations. Don't worry, there'll be videos during those. There always are. Your ears are currently bleeding. Any tropical? Nah, I wish. Chemistry is so important. Yeah, and to me, by every other account besides the media saying there's no chemistry, they have chemistry, right? I don't know. You know what? Who put it? Who said this? Who said this? Was it Carabas? It might have been Carabas. But when was the last time the Red Sox had this much drama to go into a spring training? Because there were so many. Your car was on full blast? Oh, I'm sorry, Spencer. I knew I had to get this rant out of the way. Can I make a Red Sea radio jersey? We'll talk about it. What was I saying? I forget what I was saying. Oh. I think I remember. I was saying, I think it was Carabas who said, like, this is kind of a good thing because it means there's legitimate boiling interest about this baseball team, right? When was the last time that we came into a spring training and it was like, whoom, right? And it was just, every radio station nationally, locally is talking about the Boston Red Sox. It's been a while. So if we're going to take it that way, you know what I mean? I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, Spencer, at the end of the day, here's what I want these players to do. I want these players to have a voice. Whether or not that voice matters is an entirely different conversation, right? We could sit here all night and bitch basically about what these players are saying. But at the end of the day, they don't again, Casas has no control. Casas has no control over who ends up on this big league team. He doesn't. Disagree on what? Any fan meetups in the future? I'm thinking about it. Rip, I don't know. Think this is our best defensive outfield since 2018? Yeah. Who cares about hearing their voice? It causes division. But here's my point, Shooter. Who on this team has said boy, do we not get along? Boy, are there issues in the clubhouse? No one. In fact, not a single outlet is saying that there's any chemistry problems. They're creating chemistry problems. They're creating it. They're saying it could cause chemistry problems. But yet the players don't seem to have a divide. And Brandon, I hope you feel better, man. That sucks. I hope you feel better. So I start not playing Fortnite in the dugout. Yeah, I'll be at the home opener. Okay. Let me think. Yeah, but players don't set the lineups. That's what I'm saying. That's like saying, oh boy, go back to receptionist, right? The reception. I'm in the bleachers somewhere, Max. Like you sit there and you say, well, the players don't make the lineup. Yeah, no shit, right? No, pardon my French, but yeah, of course they don't. That doesn't mean they can't have a right to answer a question that's asked of them. It would have been different if Triston Casas had come out here. If Triston Casas had come out into the presser and been like, before you guys ask any questions, here's my opinion on what the Red Sox should do. No, he spent 5 minutes talking about his health and what he's done over the offseason, and then boom, the questions come in about Rafael Devers. Trade Rafi for Vlad Jr. Come on. Yeah, don't answer the question. Why? Like, what is the point of not answering the question? Like, this is my point. He has to be a robot. You have to sit there and he's not allowed to have an opinion on a question that's asked of him. But it's not undermining his boss. That's everyone goes, oh, Triston Casas is going completely against Cora. Where? Show me where. Thank you, Lucas. Yeah, I'm gonna add a baseball bat right here. Make up trades. Yeah, I'll probably do one coming into the deadline, Wraith. Appreciate it, Combat. Yeah, I'm excited too, man. All right. Do you think we can get something for Hamilton? Yeah, probably. I don't know what it would be. Good drama in the clubhouse. No, the only drama that's being created is the drama amongst fans and radio personalities. That's really it. What's up, Mike? Will you're in Hamilton for Vladdy? I think it'd cost more than that, especially right now. I really don't think the Blue Jays are going to trade him. Plays third for Toronto? I honestly don't know. and he looks fat. Come on, guys. This is the I despise when people are like, he looks too big. Boy, does he look too big. It's so dumb. Rafi, Jeff, you saying Rafi checked out last season, to me either means you didn't watch the games or you just don't know baseball at all, because this dude played through not only a shoulder injury through the entire year, but both shoulders injured for 3 months. That was a terrible. I'm sorry, that was a terrible comment. It really was. You can't even spell does, Jeff. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? I mean, genuinely. Fat leads to the IL. So Story's fat. Casas is fat. Whitlock's fat. Giolito's fat. Hendricks is fat. Who else ended up? Willier was fat last year for a little bit. Chris Martin was fat last year for a little bit. Justin Slayton, Nick Pivetta. Bayo had some IL time. Settle down, Corbin. No, you make a dumb comment, I'm going to have a dumb reaction to it. I'm sorry, it is. You guys are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I just don't get it. I really don't. Casas is a child in a man's body. Buddy answers one question honestly and isn't a robot for 30 seconds. And everyone sits here and he's like, what? Right. Cora notoriously a very buttoned up, a very buttoned up manager. Got it, Shooter. Why do I think Yoshida starts in the IL? I think he starts in the IL because he's still a little bit behind. He's still a bit behind. He looks good, but he still hasn't started throwing yet. I think the Sox are going to can afford to be patient this year. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to have him on the lineup for them to be successful, and I think that's part of it. All right, let's get into the broadcasting stuff. We could sit here and argue all night. Is it worth it? Maybe. All right, so here are the broadcasting changes. Dave O'Brien staying in there. I know people have been pretty heated about it. People have been pretty heated about it. When your third baseman comes in with a double chin, I guess I'm done for saying it, huh? Got it? Yeah, kind of. Bregman has a double chin, but he's... Brother, there's two chins for you. I mean, what are we doing? Just because Rafael Devers doesn't have a six-pack, he can't play baseball? You know what also bothers me about this Rafael Devers stuff is you guys sit there year in and year out. Sit there year in and year out. Boy, does he look big. Boy, does he look big. My God. Back in my day, baseball players who only ate beer and hot dogs, those were men. Yet every year, Rafael Devers comes in here and he absolutely crushes things. I mean, come on. My God. Anyways, back to the broadcasting stuff. So, play-by-play is going to be Dave O'Brien with Mike Monaco mixed in a little bit. We've got color analysts Lou Merloni, Will Middlebrooks, and Kevin Millar. The interesting thing about this is that Lou Merloni is kind of fully taken over the booth. He'll be in doing about 100 games with the Sox. Kevin Youkilis, notably, out of here. If anyone will know, the 27th ball player will know. I figured, clip. Anyways. I kind of love this. I thought Lou Merloni was the best announcer the Red Sox had last year. I mean, this is a guy, in my opinion, Lou Merloni is the perfect color analyst for the Red Sox. This guy eats, sleeps, and dies Red Sox baseball. He just does, right? He gets up in the morning, he thinks about it. He goes to bed at night, he's thinking about it. He's the most, in my opinion, the most knowledgeable announcer out there. So for him to get 100 games, I'm psyched about it. I love Lou Merloni. I think he absolutely deserves this. I think it should have been done last year. I loved Kevin Youkilis as the player. I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of Uke. Hey, you too, Scott. I wasn't the biggest fan of Uke as the announcer. I didn't hate him, right? I didn't hate him by any means, but I do think Lou absolutely was the better one. I also love that Will Middlebrooks is getting a lot too. Will Middlebrooks getting a lot, to me, is really good. To me, Will Middlebrooks is a lot of like very new age analytical, where he's bringing up things. And Lou does this too. Don't get me wrong. Lou does this too. But Will kind of does it as sort of a recently former player type stuff. Lou has also evolved as well. But I think Will does a really great job of it. So for those two to sort of get really a large chunk of the season, in my opinion, is going to make it better. I honestly, and I don't want to put this on Lou, but you look at some of the guys who have been legends in the booth in terms of color commentary for the Red Sox in the past. Lou, in my opinion, has got that kind of ability. So I'm all in on this. Yeah, I'm not a huge Millar guy either, to be honest with you. Will Middlebrooks is Uke without the ego. I will say, as much as I love Kevin Youkilis, the player, I kind of understand the ego thing, right? It was a lot of, especially towards the end of the season last year, it was a lot of, well, back in my day type stuff, right? And Lou could do that a little bit too, and Middlebrooks to some degree, but it wasn't so much like I said, you know, the way Lou has looked at baseball has kind of evolved with the changing of baseball. You kind of didn't do that. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this for a couple of different reasons. Now, for the radio, someone asked about the radio. It's going to be Will Fleming, which fantastic. He signs he signed a long-term deal with the Sox to do the radio. Perfect. If it had been anyone else, I think it would have been, I would have been heated. Will Fleming is absolutely the guy and should be the guy for the foreseeable future. Doing most of the radio is actually Will Middlebrooks. So it's going to be Will and Will, which I'm pretty excited about. Again, as much Will Middlebrooks as you can get, I think is a really good thing. As much Lou and Will as you can get is a really great thing. So I don't know. Right? I like this a lot. I don't know. It seems like you guys are pretty much in agreement. I don't really see anyone totally miffed that Kevin Youkilis isn't going to be in the booth. I just think legitimately Lou Merloni is just so good. He's just so good. The talent is so great. It was going to be impossible for us to not. I will say with Kevin Millar, one thing is he talks too much. He just talks and talks and talks. But But he does love the Red Sox, right? Again, kind of one of those guys who hasn't really evolved with the times as much as Lou or Will have. But I love how much he loves the Red Sox. So I'm okay with that. Jemai's the man, right? Sideline reporter, perfectly. What up, Harrison? Perfectly. So I have no problem with that either. Lou makes up for Dave O'Brien. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a ton of, I don't have a ton of ill will towards O'Brien. There have been times where it's like, my God, right? Dude, we need some life here. But for the most part, I don't know. It's all right, right? Whereas Eckersley, he retired 2 years ago. So I'm excited about this. We're just Lewis. We're just going over. We're just going over the Ness and broadcast changes. Yeah, I agree, Joe. There was some legit stuff. Sometimes the role players are the best commenters. I honestly think that's absolutely true. Like we've seen over the last few years, right? I think the guys who, I also think it brings sort of a different angle to it, right? Where also it's weird. I'm looking up. Normally I'm looking here, so I'm always looking down now. Anyways, they had to look at the game a different way than a lot of, than a lot of players did, right? If you're naturally gifted, that takes you a very long way. And sometimes like these scrappy guys, the guys who had to fight for roster spots, they really had to look at the game analytically. And I think that's why they, and plus, you look at Lou, you look at Will, they didn't have super long careers, but they grinded, they played on different teams. There were seasons where they got 20, 30 games. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of this. I think you guys are a big fan of this. I don't really have anything truly to complain about, to be honest with you. Do I think Meyer and Roman get called up this season? I think Roman definitely does. Meyer depends on health, right? Can he stay healthy? If he's healthy, yeah. Triston Casas will be a great commentator. Don't thank me, Paul. That was gifted. Fitz to start Friday. Yep. So here's the. I think Fitz is. Let me pull up. All right. So now the next thing I absolutely wanted to get done. There's a way to watch Friday's game. The only way I know is Ness in 360. I don't know. I don't know if you can get it. I think MLB, if you have MLB TV, it's on there as well. I don't know where else you can get it besides going on to a pirate ship for it. Under over on Rich Hill reunion this year, taking the under. There's no way they bring that dude back. No way. Yeah, it's on Ness in 360. So let me pull up the first official schedule, folks. Let me pull up the first official schedule. Here is the first official schedule, ladies and gentlemen, or I should say lineup, ladies and gentlemen, for the Boston Red Sox. You know what's funny? You're a sick pup. You're a sick pup when you're, let's go, Jonathan. What about ESPN? I don't think so. It will be on the radio if you guys want to listen to it. One of the catchers, he isn't said yet. I'm such a sicko that I sit there. What up, Moose? That I sit there and I say, I am excited for this lineup. For them to play a college baseball team. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just such a sicko. I'm good, Moose. How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm psyched about it. Plus, it is always exciting when you have Christian, Marcelo, and Roman all in the lineup, right? Yost Nixon is in there. Sogard's in there. Yeah, big three about to imagine I swear to God, I'm gonna act like they just hit a home run in the World Series if Marcelo, Christian, or Roman Anthony take one of these college freshmen deep, one of these 18-year-olds deep. I'm treating it like a World Series. What was I gonna say? Oh, pitching wise, I believe. What's up, Mark? I believe. Let me see if I can find it. I think Mac tweeted it out too, actually. Yep, here it is. So this is who's going pitching wise over the next couple of days. Here it is. This is who is getting the ball. Brian Van Bell, kind of an interesting name. Did pretty well last year in Worcester. Not exactly a, yeah, I'm always going to mess that up, Ricky. I should just call him the password. Your buddy's the starting pitcher going against him? That's sick, Roberts. That's sick. Brian Van Bell. Okay. But we do get Quinn Priester. I don't know if you guys have heard much about Quinn Priester. He is apparently impressing a lot of people real early on in spring training. Apparently he came in a lot stronger than he was last year, which he wasn't exactly a small dude last year. When I sat down with him, I don't know. I can bring up the comparison of me and him. And I'm a very average guy. I'm a very, very average person. Let me bring it up. If I just look up, does it come up? Yep. Mute this. Hold on. I want to show you guys where he started out last year. And the best way to do that is just bring this up, I think. I miss my flow, by the way. I'm going to bring the flow back. It looks terrible right here. It does look terrible, but I love it. I love it so much. I love the long hair. Anyways, Corbin, aren't I 5'8"? Yep. I'm actually 5'4", to be honest with you. So this is where he started last year, right? Again, not entirely an average dude, right? He's pretty like this. You know what I mean? Pretty like this. But apparently coming into this spring, he added in about 20 pounds of muscle, and he's sitting around 96 right now. That to me is unbelievably interesting. So the fact that he is pitching early this year for the Sox is going to be fascinating. And then of course, the big thing here is obviously, ladies and gentlemen, oh, it isn't even in here. Garrett Crochet is starting on Sunday. That's what I was going to say. I thought it was in this tweet. Oh, yeah, it's right there. I'm an idiot. Didn't read the first line. Corbin has a 9-pack. You got me. I'm actually absolutely torched out of my mind. But yeah. So that's kind of the big one, right? Garrett Crochet coming in Sunday. I'm so pumped for that. Hey, Corbin, long time no see. What's up, JD? Or JB? My apologies. Good to see you again. What's your favorite Dave O'Brien moment? The Franchi Cordero walk-off. For some reason. I don't know. Always stands out to me. But yeah, so that's what's kind of lining up for this weekend on spring training. It is wild. Isn't it kind of wild that we're already at games? Do I think they're trying to get him OU? Jeff, can you finish that for me while I take a drink of water? I'll answer your question. I'm also, one thing I've noticed is that Vaughn Grissom looks a lot bigger. Did you guys see the video of Vaughn Grissom hitting? What's up, Wes? Thoughts on signing Vladdy? Look, dude, I just got done with a very stressful offseason. I need a break for a second. I will say, if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets to free agency, which it sounds like he's going to, right? I am all in on him, and I love Casas, but I'm all in on Vladdy. Let me see if I can pull up the video of Grissom while I'm thinking about it. Oh wait, I know who tweeted it. It was Milliken. Well, actually, Nick, is this your video? Are you still in the chat? Man, this is kind of wild. My God. Look at that. That's weird. Look at Tom Smith's mustache. They got my boy looking like Keenan Thompson. Oh, look at my man. They got our boy. Can I zoom in on this? Am I an idiot? Yeah, I guess I am an idiot. That's hilarious. Oh my God. All right. Anyways, not what you're talking about. Look at this is Nick. By the way, if you guys aren't following Nick, this is a 27th ball player. He's in our chat sometime. If you aren't following him on Twitter, I highly suggest it. This dude does nothing but absolutely pumps out spring training content. It's incredible. Anyways, yeah, Nick is the GOAT. Truly. He does an incredible job. Also puts out some great YouTube videos as well. I think all these are also on YouTube as shorts, by the way. Anyways, look at Grissom, dude. He looks great. He looks big, man. Like, he looks a lot bigger. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up, and then I want you guys to take a look at what he looked like last year. Let me see if I get a picture. Is this from last year or is this year? I don't know. All right, so this was Vaughn Grissom last year. Take a look. I want you to specifically take a look at the biceps here, right? I know it's a little bit zoomed out, but look at this dude. He put on some. You know how I was always saying, because Cora was always saying, and everyone on the Red Sox was always saying, like, we didn't see the full Vaughn Grissom because he came into Red Sox 14 pounds down. That's what fully beefed out Vaughn Grissom looks like. Look at the difference. Also, Marcel in the background with those glasses give me gonna make me blind over here. But like, look, right? Like, you could tell from even this angle the dude's put on some muscle mass. He's absolutely put on some muscle mass. I wonder if we go to. We can get an up-close image. All right. Let me see what I can do here. You guys can't see that. But this is Grissom. This is Grissom this year, okay? This is Grissom last year. See what I mean? There's a big difference here. There's a big difference there. Grissom looks jacked. Yeah, he does. Do you see Devin Williams? No, I haven't. I got to look up Devin Williams. I'm a Fairweather fan. Jacob DeGrom versus Garrett Crochet will be a fun-ass matchup. Yeah, that'll be incredible. That'll be incredible. I'm curious to see if they give Houck or if they give Crochet the start. Houck, I think, in my opinion, deserves it, to be honest with you. Needs to slim down. Yeah, what's his weight coming in the spring? Yeah, the nameplates look a lot better. Who's going to start Saturday? Quinn Priester. And then Sunday's Garrett Crochet. Grissom has no role. I don't think that's totally true right now, to be honest with you. The crotch rocket. I don't think that's the nickname he prefers. Someone's gonna tell my boy Cutter to stop throwing it right down the middle. All right, I'll relay it to him, Andrew. I'll get it to him. I blindly support Devers. The Bregman signing for Weeks. Yeah, I love both of them. What is it, Daniel? I don't. What? Grissom is also young enough to be able to stay in the minors. Yeah, that's the other thing too. What's his role? He's not going to DH. Well, Campbell hasn't won the second base job. If they want to have someone other than Bregman at second base, what up, hero? He could move to the outfield. You can make him more of a versatile player. He's had some time in the outfield before, something to work on. And the other part too is I love what Joe said here, and it's something I said. What did I say in another? The problem with trading him right now, Shooter, is that his value's low. He's coming off of a season. He's coming off of a season where he didn't end up performing well. Multiple injuries, right? You know what I mean? Like you can't just trade him because you don't have a spot for him. Even if you have to, yeah, he's too good for the minors, that's fine. But isn't it a good thing to have so much depth that you have someone like Vaughn Grissom in the minors? And again, you look at the Bregman stuff, and that's not a long-term deal. It's not a crazy long-term deal, right? If Grissom's in the minor leagues for a year and he's an outfielder and infielder, you get him up here as a utility guy, as a bench utility player for a year or so, then you'd still be being a full-time role player at 26. That's not a terrible place to be. It's not a terrible place to be at all. Any chance Yoshida could play outfield this season? Yeah. Yeah, they're going to play Yoshida a couple times. Let's actually solve the infield problem. What infield problem? There's too many good guys. It'll figure itself out. Has he ever tried it? Yeah, he played left field in the Braves organization. But that's what I mean, right? Like because Vaughn Grissom is so young, because Campbell's so young, because Anthony's so young, you can move him around a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, he can still be a very productive player, in my opinion. And the other thing too is, again, we don't know how this whole thing's going to shake out. Right? We don't know. Ref kind of blocks him. Yeah, but this is my point, Shooter, right? Because you can have Vaughn Grissom in the minors, and yeah, it sucks to have that talent in the minors, but that's also a good thing to have that talent in the minors for another year. And Rob's not going to be back next year. He's just not, right? He was considering retiring last year. This is the final year of his contract. He might not honestly make it through this year, if we're being honest, right? So it's not like refs long-term blocking Grissom from getting up here. What's my record prediction for the season? I'm going to go 91 wins. Corbin, the question I was going to ask, do you think the Red Sox stretching that pitcher out from the Woo Sox, add him in the bullpen? Quinn Priester? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, Jeff. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think Priester, Fitz, Dobin specifically are guys that I would look at as sort of long relief options in the bullpen. Especially if they're going to do a 6-man rotation, to have one of those guys in there who maybe doesn't really have a spot at the rotation to come in here and sort of be a long reliever is going to be perfect, right? Because then you can add him in with a Whitlock, with maybe a Winkowski, right? Penrod, kind of. I'm getting really scared the Red Sox are going to trade Rafi. They're not going to trade Rafi. Luis Guerrero is going to be lit. Yeah, Luis Guerrero is going to be fun. What are the chances we can land Vlad? We got to get to free agency first before we have that conversation. The only way Casas for Vladdy makes sense is if you trade for him and then immediately extend him. And there's no way he's not going to go to free agency. There's no way. And the idea of trading Devers away, calling Rafael Devers a burden, tells me everything I need to know about you as a fan, because it most likely means you're not watching these games. What's up, Kevin? Why can't we just trade for Vladdy? Well, one, the price would be astronomical. Two, I really don't think Toronto's going to trade Vladimir Guerrero Jr. unless they are totally out of contention for a playoff spot by the deadline, which I think there's a legitimate shot they're in, at least in contention by the deadline. I think it's crazy. Yeah, Spencer, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow for the members only. I just like Toronto wants this guy here for a long time. They couldn't get something done. They wanted to keep him here. I don't think they trade him. I really don't. And if they do, the only way I think they even make him remotely valuable on the open market is if you wait until the deadline. And again, the only way that happens, in my opinion, is if they're totally out. If the Jays are smart, they trade him away in the hunt or not. I agree. But the Jays seem really, really hell-bent on making sure this guy stays with the organization, which, you know what drives me crazy about that whole Vladdy thing? They offered what? It was like over $1 billion to free agents this offseason, right? Devers and Casas are the worst valued players in all of baseball. Dude, this is what I'm talking about, right? With people just simply not watching games or not paying attention to the team and then coming in here and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. What's the video tomorrow? What is the video tomorrow? Great question. The video tomorrow, where's my notebook? The video tomorrow. Might do an AI predicting video. That could be kind of fun. Jace spent a ton to get 10. Maybe if they do good this season, I'll consider to stay. Yeah, maybe. We could pay Bregman, but not Duran. Daniel, I'm gonna go about this politely. For you who clearly doesn't understand how arbitration works, here's how it works. Every player, once they get debuted in Major League Baseball, and once their rookie year is finished, a clock starts. It's 6 years. You have control over them for 6 years. What this means is that they go through something called an arbitration process. Basically, every player for the first 6 years that they are in Major League Baseball, after their rookie season, after their first 2 rookie seasons, really, but that might add a little bit of layer complication here for you. They go and they come to the team and they say, this is how much I think I'm worth. The team says, okay, this is how much I think you're worth. And usually they come to an agreement like they did with Jarren Duran. If not, it's not that they don't pay this team or this player. It's that this player and them then go to a third party who decides which side is correct or finds some sort of middle ground. So the difference between Alex Bregman and Jarren Duran is that you had to pay Alex Bregman that amount to get him onto the Boston Red Sox, whereas Jarren Duran is already on the Boston Red Sox. That makes sense? Money Mike Madness with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. He says, make sure we like that message, by the way. Fun video idea for you, Corbin. Why David Hamilton deserves an extension. I like it. Why not? Does Vladdy get Pete Alonso'd with first baseman being so undervalued now? No, I think because of Vladdy's age. No. We have the depth to keep winning with injuries? Yes. Where does he play? Who gets moved? Unfortunately, I think the answer is Triston Casas gets moved. Make it on April 1st. Yeah, maybe that will be my April 1st video. JB, I can't do that. MLB is really strict with their copyright rules. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have these pictures up. They'll probably bump me for that as well. There's your super chat, Mike. I was wondering where the notification went. Vlad for the Sox would be unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. I don't think the bullpen will work out if it's a 6-man rotation. Hendricks, Chapman, Slayton, Whitlock, Wilson +1 reliever. Coop, Fitz, Priester. Who gets the last spot or last 2? Hendricks, Chapman, Slayton, Whitlock are definites. And there are 7. Well, there'll be what? There's usually 8, so there's 7. Is that correct? There's 9, 13. 5 is 18. Yeah, there's usually 8, so there'll be 7. That's 4. They need a long reliever. I think the long relief options are going to be Winkowski. You've got a couple of non-roster invitees as well. But just strictly talk about this 40-man. Winkowski, Fitz, Priester, Dobbins, Penrod possibly. So one of those 5 guys end up on there. And then, yeah, I don't think it's going to be Winkowski. I just wanted to throw his name out there. And then you've also got, and then for the last spot, you either go low leverage, which the Red Sox don't really need to go low leverage, to be honest with you. Or they could go with another middle reliever, which would be guys like Zach Kelly, Ottavino, that guy from Brockton, who's actually not from Brockton, I forget his name, who's throwing 100 miles an hour, Luis Guerrero, Bernardino. Did I say Zach Kelly yet? So you've got sort of 10 guys just on the 40-man fighting for, in my opinion, 2 spots. Okay, Daniel, then leave. Newcomb. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Do you think they are World Series contenders? I do. What would be the equivalent of a Luka trade for the Sox? It would be like trading Roman Anthony for Mike Trout, maybe? What up, Prodigy? Welcome in, my friend. Yeah, Vladdy and Devers are good friends. Outright closers still concerned. Struggled a bit when Kenley wasn't available. Yeah, Jack, it's going to depend on whether or not Hendricks looks good. From everything I've heard, Hendricks looks great, but we'll see. $5 super chat from Bay Sox Bombs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's his 3rd super chat of his lifetime here in Red Sea Radio. Could we get some likes on that? Really mean a lot to me. He said, bold takes, Red Sox win 95 games. Crochet wins the Cy Young. Bregman, Abreu, and Duran win Gold Gloves. That would be crazy. Crazy. That's a bold take. I like the Crochet Cy Young, though. Think we have a good chance versus the Dodgers? Anything can happen. Like trading Walker Buehler for Skeens? Yeah, kind of. Ellie David Cruz? Maybe. What's the video tomorrow? I don't know yet, honestly, Maxwell. I got to look at my notes. What's the cutoff date now for the extra year of team control? That's a good question. Is versatility here? He always knows the answer to those. I honestly forget what question I was looking at. Oh, the cutoff date. I think it's sometime late April. I think it's like a week. I think it's like a week. What do I think happens with Ottavino? I think Ottavino gets a legitimate shot at making the team. That's all I can really say, honestly. I think because a lot of the guys that are brought in as non-roster invitees are simply because they don't want to blow out arms in the spring, right? But I think Ottavino has a legitimate shot at fighting for a spot. Again, you talk about it. You talk about Ottavino, right? And Ottavino's kind of separate. But again, you talk about, okay, how many spots are they fighting for? Well, 4 of them, I think, in my opinion, are locks. Right? Like Slayton, Whitlock, Hendricks, and Chapman will be in your bullpen, barring any injuries. So you really have 3 spots that you're fighting for if they're going with a 6-man rotation, which it really looks like they are. So you sit there and you say, okay, can Ottavino beat out Kelly, Winkowski, Bernardino, Penrod, Guerrero, I don't know if they're going to have Fitz, Dobbins, but you got Criswell in there as well. Brian Van Bell's a name who got invited to spring training. Sean Newcomb is someone that they were excited about. Justin Wilson. I will, Daniel. Thank you for the advice, though. They don't need a six man. It kind of sounds like that's exactly when they do. Who do you think is going to be the opening day starter? I kind of think it's going to be Houck. I think Houck deserves it. What bullpen arms will be available in free agency next season? I honestly haven't looked. A lot of guys signed 1-year deals, so a lot of the guys that were here now that are going to be who were signed this year will be there next year. If the Red Sox land Dylan Cease, the Red Sox will have a good chance of reaching the World Series. Do you agree, Corbin? I think they can make it with or without him. Get David Robertson. I'd be psyched. I'm curious to see if they ended up doing Ottavino as sort of like a, hey, we're going to trial run this, and if it sucks, you know what I mean? We'll go with Robertson. I don't know, because Robertson's still out there. Who do you think will be a guy who surprises everyone on the roster, like for making the roster? I think Grissom. No one thinks Grissom's going to make it. Bueller? I don't know. Bueller won't be opening day. The reason I'm saying Houck is not because I don't think Crochet is the better pitcher. It's because at the end of the day, here's my problem. To me, the opening day starter, a lot of people put a lot of people. This dude. Daniel, man, I'm starting to really like you. This guy comes in here, absolutely craps all over Rafi and Casas because they're out of shape, but then goes, we should have signed Anthony Santander. Oh, man. But my point is, a lot of people put so much emphasis on who the opening day starter is. I don't care at all. I really don't. Right? I really don't care. But like to me, if you're going to make something out of the opening day starter, it should be the guy who's been here, who's grown here, and who became an all-star here in Boston. Right? And then Crochet could get his 32 starts other ways. You know what I mean? Like to me, opening day doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Yeah, you get that win, that's great. But if you lose that game, you're not out of the World Series. Right? Like, you lose that game. The 2018 Red Sox lost their first game. I don't understand why there's such a big emphasis on who the opening day starter is. I never have. What do I think of Robo-Ums? I'm very curious. I'm very curious about the Robo-Ums. They were interesting. Honestly, they didn't affect the game too much in AAA. Right? I haven't heard too much. Or when I was there, you don't notice it too much. There's never been like really a key moment where it was utilized. One guy who really know how to utilize it was Chase Meidroth. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Yeah, prime example, Jill, right? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. I think people take robo-umps to mean they're taking umpires out of the game completely. Each team only gets 2 challenges a game. So they can only be used twice. I have no problem with it. I do want to see how it goes with Major League players, though. Thoughts on the Costa situation? I think people should stop penalizing players for answering questions asked them honestly. What's up, Roderick? Thanks for stopping by, man. They went halfway with it. Half robot. Nah, it's not even half. It's 2 calls. It doesn't slow the game at all. No, not even a little bit. It's quite literally, it's a tap on the helmet and then it pops up on the Jumbotron and that's it. That's it. How could lead this staff? It's in my opinion, it's Crochet. I think it's clearly Crochet is the more talented pitcher. As much as I love Tanner Houck, but I feel like people are putting Tanner Houck into a different bucket, which is kind of surprising to me. Yeah, I agree, Roberts. I agree. Who's your backup first baseman? Yeah, I suppose it would be Romy. It's gonna be Romy. Um Wong. Play like Casas, strike sound will love the ABS system. So I actually talked to Casas about this in Worcester when he was rehabbing, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it. He said he loved the human element of the game, which is kind of interesting. What do I think Corey's going to do about the Rafi Bregman situation? I think he's going to let him fight, man. I think he's going to let him fight. Can Rafi actually rise to the occasion? You know what I mean? Big Poppy played DH, was just fine. Why can't Rafi? So glad we got rid of Reese McGuire. Yeah. Screw with a couple injuries. Yeah, I think it would have to take 3 injuries for us to be really screwed at catcher, Aaron. What they did this offseason is they had Connor Wong, right? And then they went and they got 2 good defensive backups. So, man, Daniel, buddy loves the word soft. Do you think more moves happen? I really don't think there's a ton more moves coming, to be honest with you. I really don't. Same, Arlen. What's going on, man? All eyes are on Rafi this spring? Yeah. Yeah. Is the defense or the offense more important for catchers? In my opinion, the defense is, right? I would rather a catcher... I would rather a catcher be really good defensively and very mediocre or even below average offensively than a really good offensive catcher with no defensive abilities. Devers forgot there's no... When is opening day? Fenway opening day is April 1st. The actual season opening day is March 29th. Did he do an interview? Yeah, he did a press conference, Chase. It's on Red Sox YouTube if you want to look it up. There is an iron win. Any former prospects traded are you most hoping breaks out? Yeah, Chase Mydroth. CP, I'm working on something. I really want one more player. And this will be... I'm going to be honest with you, this offseason, if you get Crochet extended before opening day, it's A+, in my opinion. Without an extension, I think it's a A-. That extension really bumps it up to a fantastic offseason. Picardus, just in time. Just in time, Picardus. Members only is tomorrow for you members. Make sure you guys get those claps in for him. Thank you so much, Picardus. I appreciate you. Big Poppy didn't want to play DH because DH didn't count to win an MVP. Yeah. Ty O'Neill will walk us off in Baltimore first game we play there. Yeah, he'll have one big moment against the Sox this year. Well, as long as you're paying. Ty O'Neill have a whole sore hammy? Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Say Don for MVP. You know what? I'm in it. Let's get the movement going. What if they land C? Corbin would great to give them. That'd be an A+. I don't think they're going to. Doesn't sound like they're going to. Sounds like they checked in and it did not go well. Will I be at opening day? I will be at opening day. I just bought my tickets today. Nice mug. Thanks. Sox vs. Yankees 2025. Who's winning? Who's on the mound? What up, Tupac? Am I flying down to spring training? Nah, can't afford it. Got a wedding. It didn't sound like they're getting Bregman either. Good point. I was told they asked for Casas. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's what I said, right, in the video. I'm not surprised at all. At this point, you can't get rid of Casas. Can't do it. Crochet's on the mound for the Sox. Who's on the mound for the Yankees? I will, Steven. I'm sorry to hear that. They asked for Willier for Cease. I'd be much more interested in that. What happens with Yoshida? Dude, I don't know. I really, really don't know. And it's not that I don't like Yoshi. It's just you sit there with all of the people on this team. And this is what we've been saying this entire offseason, right? It was never Masataka Yoshida's a bad player. It was always, I love Masa, but how do you fit him on this team? You know what I mean? It's just roster fit. Chris Cotillo. Chris Cotillo is going national, I guess. Yoshida gets moved before opening day. I really don't think he does, man. I really don't think he does. I really think they tried to move him during the offseason and couldn't. Do the Dodgers sign the remaining free agents? Yeah, I think that's how that works. Do we get rid of Abreu as well as soon as the big three come up? I don't know. When's my prediction video coming? I don't know when I'm going to do my prediction video, actually. I'll probably do it a little bit later in spring training. I want to see who's healthy and who's not. Yeah. The Seattle Mariners really kind of screwed up this offseason, didn't they? Would I rather Crochet win 15 games or Masa hit 30 home runs? Crochet winning 15 games, absolutely. You should have a video where you grade every team's offseason. I have not been paying attention enough. No, I agree, Pick. I absolutely agree with you. They're in a really good spot. Who's still in free agency? Dude, David Robertson's the only name I know. Kyle Finnegan. You guys really don't like Chris Cotillo? I'm surprised. Devin Williams on the mound. Sox winning. I think the Sox trade for Ryan Helsley. I don't know, man. I don't know that the Cardinals really want to trade him, to be honest with you. Because they probably, I mean, he's already done it. Or they already had so many opportunities to trade Ryan Helsley and haven't. So either they were trying to attach him to Arenado and see if that works out. But guys, Chris Cotillo is literally in the chat. Once again, great job. Hey, I appreciate you, Dennis. Thank you so much. See Yankees acquisition all saved up? Yeah, it's wild. What's up, Echo? Do you want David Robertson? You can never have enough bullpen pitching, in my opinion, especially good bullpen pitching. I would be more than happy. What I think the new City Connects are going to be? They're going to be Green Monster themed. I can. It feels right. It feels like that's it. It would be sick. It would be sick if they were like the Fenway green with like the Red Sox across. It would be sweet. I'd absolutely pick that up. They're going to be green. We know that. That was announced at Winter Weekend, Fenway Fest, whatever you want to call it. I feel like my camera is more clear. How do I like the signing of Adam Ottavino? I like it. It's depth. Yeah, mods. Get Daniel out of here. This dude has done nothing but bitch the entire live stream, and now he's calling me that. Get him out of here. There's no need for that. I mean, genuinely, there's none. Chris Cotillo keeps injuring Trevor's story. I don't get why anyone would sign an extension before they pitch a single day in uniform. How do they know if they liked it here? It's a good point. Do I like Cotillo? I really don't have a huge issue with Cotillo at all, to be honest with you. Most underrated prospect in our farm system. Most underrated. Stinson, I think, is a good one, but he's gotten some press. Johan Franz, I think, coming back from injury is going to be a big one to pay attention to. Cespedes, people kind of stopped talking about him after he got injured. Alan Castro, Antonio Anderson, Conrad Kaysen. Who am I most excited for that we got this offseason? Probably Crochet. What do I think about Giolito? Solid. I think Giolito's gonna be good number 5, and that's all I need. I have no problem like having a conversation with someone in person, but if you get aggressive with me over baseball takes, brother, you got yourself a much larger issue. You know what I mean? Like, if we disagree with each other over baseball takes, you get mad at me, fine. If you see me in person and you physically assault me because you don't like my baseball takes, that's more on you than it is on me. The way I was bouncing up and down for Bregman was the move that I think they should have made. Crochet's the better player. Any Woo Sox I'm hoping interview. It depends. Yes. But it depends on who. It depends on who ends up down there, right? Obviously, the big 3. I'd love to talk to Marcella. Marcella's the only big 3 I haven't talked to yet. So I'd love to talk to him. Pitchers, right? I'd love to talk to some of the pitchers. Challenge me to a duel. Come on, what are we doing? What do I think of Lucas Giolito's burner count? You know what? Every player should have a burner count. Stick up for yourself. Yeah, shout out our moderators. They're incredible. How do you think our bullpen, how good do you think our bullpen is? Who do you think got him? I would say they're middle of the pack. I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be insane either. I would say middle of the pack. I would say top half. Will I do a broadcast? No, unfortunately, no. It's during my work hours. Was Roman? Yeah, Roman Anthony, incredibly polite. 5 minutes away from Polar Park. Yeah, I'll be there a lot this year. Do I miss Teal? Yeah, I think I really thought they were going to get a major league cat, like a legit major league catcher. Papa Red Seed. I appreciate that, Jonathan, but I don't know, man. I would be. I mean, I could see people yelling stuff at me, disagreeing with takes. That's fine. But like, I've never heard of someone getting assaulted because they didn't have. Go-to places to eat around Fenway. Timeout Market's usually where I go, just because my girlfriend, a little bit picky, right? There's a ton of options. In terms of directly near Fenway Park, food-wise, Mighty Squirrel low-key got some good pizza. Mighty Squirrel got some good pizza. Someone threatened to assault me? Yeah. They just did. I had him kicked out. Sausage cart, yeah, true. Sal's, yeah, I mess with Sal's too. Tasty Burger, that's solid. Yeah, a lot of people said Tasty Burger. I'm not roasting you, Jessica. I'm just saying timeout's great because we can both get our own things. That's what I'm saying. How would I address the Bregman Devers situation if I was Cora? Kind of a tough one, right? I mean, at the end of the day, the best defensive alignment for the Red Sox is having Alex Bregman at third base. I think what it really depends on is how good Christian Campbell is this spring training. But personally, if I was Cora, I don't know, man. The weird, like for Rafi, you understand it for Rafi. You understand it for Rafi. The entire offseason, they were saying he's coming into second base. When he gets here, and all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second. What do you mean he's the third baseman? You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a delicate situation. All right, Steven. Hey, have a good one. Enjoy the movie. Harry Potter is like my favorite of all time, so enjoy it. How would I handle it? I think I don't know, man. It is a delicate situation because you really don't want to piss off Rafi. That's like the dumbest thing you can do. Still, he has to be aware he's a bad defender. No. Yeah, again, through my entire thing is that people always have to pick a side. Here's my opinion with the Rafael Devers stuff. Rafi, in my opinion, has a right to be upset and a right to want to fight for his position. Right? He has a right to do that. I also think the Red Sox have a right to want the Gold Glove defender at third base. Right? I think both sides can be correct, and I think the media is trying to make people pick a side, and I don't think that's how it should be. Of course, Rafael Devers is going to want to keep the position he's had. You disagree that? So here's sort of worst case scenario, shooters. You sit there and you say, tough crap, dude. We're paying you $300 million. You're gonna play DH. All right, Jeff. Hey, have a good one, man. You're gonna play DH. He absolutely could just stop trying. And all of a sudden, shooter, you've now lost Rafael Devers because he refuses to play for you guys or whatever for 3 years of Alex Bregman. So it absolutely is kind of a big deal that pissing him off. I always like it. We're not talking about just some random bad defensive third baseman. We're talking about a top 25 hitter who's not good defensively. He can be mad all he wants. Yeah, fine. He can hit. But what if he says, if you do not trade me, I will not play next year? What do? You trade Rafael Devers for 3 years of Alex Bregman? He won't say that? Why not? You know, paying him's not my point, right? It's nothing to do with that. My point is you're going to lose Rafael Devers for 3 years of Alex Bregman. I don't like that. I'd rather they just find a solution. There's a solution there to be had. And again, this is something I like. It's hard to me to say as an outfielder, but I really don't think Devers is going to ultimately refuse to change his position. Yeah. Has that ever happened? I'm sure it's happened before. Favorite brain rot? I honestly don't know. I'm so dude. I'm such a loser. Like I'm not too old to understand stuff. I just don't watch enough stuff to really understand it. Like I couldn't. If I to give you a definition of brain rot, I don't know if I could do that. Favorite place to sit at Fenway? Right field grandstands or the Sam Adams deck. Sam Adams deck. I'm an unk. Yeah, I guess so. Sam Adams deck is where I really like to do it. But only the beginning months of the season and the end months of the season. You know what I mean? Is it easy to get stuff signed at Fenway? I haven't gotten an autograph. I haven't got an autograph at Fenway in a very long time, so I really don't know. Oh, I agree, Robbie. I'm not saying Rafael Devers is absolutely perfect in this situation. My point is I do think Rafael Devers has a right to be upset. And I do think the team has a right to tell Rafi he needs to move up, right? I think both can be true. Daniel made an alt account. How much is it to sit at the red seat? I think they put it out randomly. I don't think you could specifically buy it. That's the other point in this too, Shooter. I think one of the things is we as fans have understood for a long time. We as fans for a very long time have expected Rafael Devers to at some point become your full-time DH, right? My thing is, I don't think we as fans look at it completely differently than Rafi does it completely, right? And I think that's sort of where the disconnect is if we sit here as fans and we say, well, Rafi's going to be the DH, you'd be correct. But if you're Rafi and you sat there and you signed that deal 2 years ago and you were not even just told, but in your mind, you were now the third baseman of the Red Sox for the next 10 years, it might be a little bit of a different mindset. And that's my point, right? Is again, you have to look at both sides when you talk about exactly why Rafael Devers is upset in this situation. Shooter, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Right? I'm not disagreeing with you at all. The best lineup does need to put out there, and things do change year after year. Yes, correct. My point in this is that, again, what you are looking at this as is an outside fan. You are not looking at this as Rafael Devers, who has played third base his entire life, who has signed a deal. He has signed a deal to be the third baseman of the Red Sox. His perspective on this is much different than yours and mine is. But guys, I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm not saying that in this contract specifically, Rafael Devers signed on the dotted line and right above it, it said you are going to play third base for the entirety of this contract. My point is Rafael Devers won a World Series as a third baseman. He came up as a third baseman. He's played his first 6 years as a third baseman. He signs this deal. And again, in his head, not in overall perspective of the team, he is under the understanding that by signing this contract, he is signing it as a third baseman, right? That's my point. Yeah, yes, guys. He did not play every game as a third baseman in 2018, but he was a third baseman. That's my point. No, it has nothing to do with his value in free agency or anything like that. It just has to do with everything that he believes he is as a baseball player. That's my point. Who's the top 5 hitters on the Red Sox? Devers is one. Duran's 2, probably just based on like actual performance. If we're just talking pure talent, I'd put Casas 3. If we're talking in terms of prestige, it'd be Bregman. Those two would flip-flop depending on which way you're looking at it. And then 5, Story, I guess, right now. Daniel's leaving it alone. Duran is 1. If we're talking, you said hitters. Rafael Devers has been a better hitter for a longer period of time. It's just a fact. If they try to force him to DH, he's going to leave. He can't just leave, though. But he can make life very, very difficult. Why does my phone randomly connects to this computer's a microphone? Moss is 5? Okay. He's not the personality to make life difficult. I would agree with that for the most part. Yeah. Are there really any more additions? I think any more additions are either going to be a trade to make room on the roster, Ian, or it's going to be a bullpen pickup. Story's the worst hitter of your starting 9. Did you see Cedon Rafaela last year? Or Connor Wong's strikeout rate? Or what Willie Abreu did against lefties? If we're just strictly talking about what they've done so far in Major League Baseball, and looking at their entire careers, Colin, not just the last 2 years where Story was injured, Story's your 5th best hitter. Moss is a good one. Sogard, why did we have an issue with Nick Sogard? This is a big year for Story. Love Duran, but we're overrating him based on his historic season. Seems like he could be really good, still fall short of meeting. Yeah, you could still fall short and still be your 3rd best player or 1st best player. You know what I mean? That's not overrating at all. Thanks, Jonathan. I sure did, Athletic. Well, you're going to help us get Cease? I wouldn't be surprised. If Roman Anthony goes off and Cease isn't traded, I don't know. I'm fine with however any of these players feel. I just miss the days when they would say whatever's best for the team, not my decision to make, be a pro and a leader. Look, dude, I kind of understand that, but at the same point too, personality is what created this monstrosity of the NFL. It did, right? Players having a personality and a voice. The NBA got so big because they had good players and because those players had good personalities. I don't know, dude. I don't think like to have a gripe with people answering questions they're told honestly, to me sounds a bit ridiculous. There have been so many times Aaron Judge like is a global superstar. I'll give him that. But like you sit there with Judge and he says the same thing over and over and over again. It's just come on, dude. Like Ronald Acuna Jr. is a perfect answer. Is a perfect answer to why guys should be able to talk the way they want to talk. Roberts, that's kind of what I got. I talked to a couple people that spoke Spanish too. And they kind of said similar things, that the translator kind of did a poor job. And also Rafi's just a emotional is the wrong word. What is it? Expressive. He's an expressive person. right? He's an expressive person. So when he makes faces while things are being translated, people take that out of the way too. Yeah, it'll be Hendricks, Connor. If he's healthy, it will be Hendricks. Acuna needs to move to DH. I'm sure his knees hold up much longer. I don't know, man. This is a Red Sox podcast, Moose. Rafi needs to buck up and do what's best for the team. What could have gone differently? Here's my problem with that, CW, is if Rafi had said, let's say someone comes in and he goes, no, I don't, Trick. I don't personally. Let's say they go, Rafi, are you okay moving to DH? He's like, yeah, I got no opinion. To me, that shows less involvement with your future than Rafi saying, no, I'm wanting to play third base. Doesn't it? Like you sit there and you say, okay, Rafi, do you want to move to DH? Sure. Would you stay at third base? Sure. You sit there and you're like, well, does Rafi really care? Right? Does Rafi really care where he plays or what this is or what it takes to win? You know what I mean? Like I want my player, especially my superstar player, to be like, no, this is my spot. He's got to pry for my cold dead fingers. I would much rather have that mentality from my superstar than, yeah, stick me wherever you want as long as I get paid. I don't really give a crap. Like those are like that. That's exactly what people would be saying had he went up there and he said, no. There's an in-between, though. To be honest with you, Border, with Boston media and Red Sox fans the way they are, there isn't. There isn't. Like, I guarantee had Rafi just said whatever he wanted, right? Whatever, just whatever. Put me out there, I'll hit bombs. People would have been like, oh, he doesn't really care where he plays. He got his bag. No one cares. You know what I mean? No, I don't think so, Trick. That will absolutely help Timothy. Yeah, exactly, George. I'll do what's best for the team, but I'd like to be playing third base is the ideal reply. Could have been. Any real improvement? Well, he did have improvement last year, right? It was his lowest error season ever. So there has been improvement, yes. Think we could sign Vlad next year if he gets to free agency? Sure. What's my favorite piece of Red Seat merch? My mom got me a custom Red Seat bat. That's my favorite piece of Red Seat merch. What's your worst Red Sox lineup ever? Worst Red Sox lineup ever? Oh my God, dude. I'd have to sit there and think for a few minutes. I don't know if I'd be able to do that on stream. Because there are going to be guys I would completely forget. Don't be surprised if they trade Devers. I will be shocked. Hey, TJ. You excited for the members only tomorrow at 7? I will dye my hair bright pink if the Red Sox trade Casas. Or I'm sorry, Devers. If the Red Sox trade Devers, I will dye my hair bright pink. You know what? I will dye every hair on my body bright pink. Every hair. Every single hair. Eyebrows. I'll grow out a mustache just to trade it. Or just to dye it. Leg hair, dyed. Every other hair, dyed. Armpit hair, dyed. Nomar, yeah, but Nomar was an entirely different situation, right? How many years did Nomar have left on his contract before he... Wasn't he on a contract year? Yeah, he was on his last season. Totally different. Totally different. He wasn't signed for a 10-year contract. You know what I mean? What time tomorrow? 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Jess would not be psyched, considering we have a wedding in 2 years, or a year and a half. Prediction for the Sox record this year, how they'll finish in the AL East. I think they're going to compete for a division. I think they can. If everyone, for the most part, right, there are going to be injuries, but I think it'll be. I think they'll compete for a division. I'm going to say in the 90s for wins. Hopefully, we wouldn't have gave Devers such a big contract. If we were playing to trade him, yeah. Who had the longest contract in Red Sox history? I think Devers has the longest, doesn't he? Thoughts on the lineup you made for the worst? Chavis, I think you could find a worse first baseman than Chavis. Franchi Cordero, I think you put it first. Second, Peraza, sure. Shortstop, Kike, that makes sense. Sandoval in third, yeah. Left field, Hanley. I would put Carl Crawford somewhere in that outfield. Christian Royal, yeah. Sizemore, I don't know. It's because of the Yankees, Joe. Was there any griping in New York about Jeter changing position when they got A-Rod? No, there was not. Are you invited to the wedding? Maybe I'll put a live stream for the wedding. Rafi once again came into camp out of shape. How's he done at the plate every year that you say he's coming to camp out of shape? How's he done at the plate there, Colin? Pick up Verdugo over my dead body. What about that crazy guy broken a felony in 2020 and roasted Chavis? You're not Michael Jordan. Do you think we should move Cutter? You think he's a waste of a roster spot? Why? Yeah, that's the other thing, too. What do you do with Massa? What do you do with Massa? Red Sox did trade Babe Ruth to the Yankees, yes. Cedon, I think, absolutely has the ability to be as good as Jackie Bradley Jr. I really do. If Cutter doesn't give up homers, he's a Cy Young pitcher. Hot take. Yeah. I don't really think that's a hot take. If every pitcher just didn't give up home runs, you know what I mean? Massa, you think Massa rides Pine? I don't know, man. I don't know that Massa rides Pine. Yeah, I know what you meant, Chase. I know what you meant. I was just reading it again. We're kind of stealing all their players. Yeah, I hope they continue to do that. No one's trading for Massa. Stop saying it. They're going to find a way. I'm telling you. That's why. So one of the things that I think is kind of interesting is if you start Yoshida on the IL, you get Campbell or you get Anthony or maybe Grissom gets a starting spot for a while, right? And then if Massa comes back, you may have to put Rafael Devers at third base, right? This may not be a conversation. Like, genuinely. Because if Massa comes back and you can't find another spot for him, you're not going to have $18 million sitting on the bench when he's a productive player. So if you put him at DH, Rafi has to play third and Bregman has to play second. So this is the other thing too, right? The only way this works is if you find a way to get rid of Massa. Everyone's getting upset about this Rafael Devers thing. We haven't found a solution to that first. Should the Red Sox upgrade Connor Wong? I think they had their chance, man. But who's more productive? Pay doesn't matter. My point is, I don't know, right? Massa's still an above average player. He is an above average player. If Vaughn Grissom is an average player and Christian Campbell's an average player with good defense, which one's more? I don't know, right? I don't know. Yeah, he's not a good bench fit. That's for sure. I love Daniel. You know what my favorite part about you is that you start every sentence completely a different topic, right? I'm like, all right, we're having an intelligent baseball conversation. And you have to end it with, I can't stand defending the diva Devers. If you just left that off, we could have had a conversation, but instead you got to throw that in there, and it kind of ruins your entire statement, doesn't it? He's an above average hitter, but not a DH, isn't driving runs. Yeah, that is kind of a hot take, DJ. I don't think I would do that. Bold take, Giolito and story breakout, and Giolito wins comeback player of the year. I kind of like that take. Yeah, bringing Bregman in at this point would cause so many more issues, dude. There's no reason to put him on there. You know what I mean? There's no reason for Bregman at this point. Who am I most interested to see at spring training? Bayo's a good one. Quinn Priester's a big one for me with all the hype that Vaughn Grissom's huge, in my opinion, for spring. A couple guys in the bullpen. Zach Kelly said he's been working on some stuff this offseason. Love to see what that looks like out of the pen. Hendricks is a big one for me. He's a big time. You know what I mean? When does Meyer come into play? Probably the end of this season. Not wanting to be a downer, but with injuries, everyone gets a chance to play. Yeah, not totally wrong. Last time I heard a top Sox scout say a prospect has electric hands, it was about Mookie Betts. When did Mookie Mookie didn't debut straight out of the season? He didn't. He came up halfway through. So you kind of already, not halfway, but he came up partially in a season, didn't he? His first season, 52 games. Yeah. So even if he's Mookie Betts, they didn't start Mookie Betts right off the roster. See, Daniel, there we go again. You could have just said, so excited for Bayo, Hendricks, Newcomb, Chapman, Campbell, and Anthony. You didn't have to leave off the first spot. If you don't support him, don't talk about him. What does Bregman think about the drama? I don't like. It's not really Bregman's place to talk about the drama, right? He's the brand new guy to this team. And to be honest with you, I don't know that anything genuinely, I don't think anyone in that clubhouse is having this same conversation. I don't. Ray, it's not terrible. Not terrible. Although Bregman has much better range than Rafi. The ultimate dark horse in David Hamilton. All right, I'll give you David Hamilton, Daniel. What happened to Dustin May? No, I didn't see that. Drama used to be par for the course. Yeah, but that's my point, right? It's again, like I said, it's almost a good thing as to how much Red Sox are being talked about right now. It's a good thing. Hendricks at 93 is outstanding. No, we need that guy. Who said 93? We need that guy up to right now. That's fine, right? Right now, that's fine. Right now, I have no problem with him at 93. If he's at the end of camp and he's at 93, then I'm concerned. You need an autographed Red Sea radio baseball, brother. I appreciate it. You don't want an autograph from me. You want an autograph from someone on the team. You know what I mean? Do I play the MLB Wordle? No, I got to get that. Obviously, him with the brain knows our team defense better with Rafi. Not at third. Could be. Yeah, old man. Yeah, Crochet. I don't know if you guys saw that. Crochet threw his first bullpen. Buddy was absolutely cooking. He looked mid-season form. I'm excited about that. Are we talking about having too many good players? That's exactly what we're talking about. And I love it. One, I love that there are so many people that are invested in what the Red Sox need to do. Last year, if we're being honest, right, this month, if we're just comparing months in terms of interest, honestly, like just based off of my channel alone, this month was totally dead. People didn't care. People did not care about the Red Sox last year. The fact that we're in here, I don't even know how many people are in this chat, but the fact that there are so many people that want to talk about the drama, that want to talk about positions, that want to talk about pitching, leads me to believe that the Red Sox are in a good spot. They did something right, which is great. Exactly, Colin. It is a much, you know what's a much better situation? You know what's a much better situation? Arguing whether or not Rafael Devers or Alex Bregman should play third is a much better conversation. Is a much better conversation than last year at this time when we were talking about whether or not Criswell or Winkowski was going to be our fifth pitcher. Right? Right? Or whether or not, and I love Nick Sogard. Don't get me wrong, I love Nick Sogard. But whether or not Nick Sogard was going to break camp with the team. Yeah, Henry's name has not been mentioned yet. I love it. July last year, yeah, July was a big month in terms of Red Sox interest last year too. Champagne problem is a great way to put it. Dustin May tore his esophagus eating salad. Is that true? A bite of salad not only just did it, it nearly cost Dustin May his life. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher shared that a salad he ate was the reason for his season-ending esophagus surgery in July. It was definitely a life-altering event, May told the Los Angeles Times. It was definitely very serious, not a very common surgery. It was definitely an emergency. I probably wouldn't have made it through the night if I didn't have it. Oh my God. Initially, the 27-year-old felt a mega painful sensation after swallowing a bite of lettuce for 15 minutes. Feeling the pain in his throat eventually subsided. While May brushed aside any concern once the pain went away, his wife urged him to go to the emergency room. That's when he found out that the rupture of his esophagus was severe enough that he needed to go undergo emergency surgery. May described the surgery as essentially a full abdominal surgery. Wow. That's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, that is a new fear. What tore his esophagus? What actually tore the esophagus? Was it? It couldn't have been the lettuce, right? Pizza healthier than salad? Yeah, pizza won't kill you. LeVar Ball's leg got amputated? What is going on? It's caused by a lot of things. I had no idea. Bro's eating straws. I can do a live the day before opening day. We every year we live stream opening day. So what we normally do is we do a big pregame live stream for members, and then we watch the game together. Brother, this is rosacea and eczema. This isn't a burn. Why didn't we sign Santander? Daniel, dude, we can't have an intelligent baseball conversation if you think Rafael Devers is worse than Santander. Genuinely. I know, Timothy. I was thinking that. I was just trying to figure out what time it is. I think it's probably a little bit later. It's probably like 8, I would guess. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one with actual... There we go. Their first game is at 4:05. A little bit of an early. Real question. Would I rather Bregman or Burns on this roster? I know. I now like Bregman here. I mean, it's tough to not pick Burns. Daniel, there'd be still positional drama with Santander. I don't know. Huh? Consider if we're talking about just the straight contracts, I'm taking Bregman's contract, but so we're going by home runs. Oh, guys. Just got word I can't watch the first Red Sox spring training game. What time is that at, actually? Let me take a look at that. Oh, they don't even have it up here. Does anyone know what time that is? D-backs slept on. I saw a ranking the other day that had the D-backs as a top 10 team. I don't know what that is, Rusty's. $1 p.m. Calling Devers a locker room cancer is absolutely crazy. It's a good point, Dave. I think Bregman's here for at least 2 years, unless he has like the craziest season he's had since, well, you know what I mean? Yeah, most of them are at 1. Last year they mixed in some night games. I wonder if they'll do that again. Yeah, they do have a couple of night games. 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6, 6, 6, 8 o'clock. Oh, that's actual opening day. I'm an idiot. Yeah, they mix in some night games. Are they going anywhere? Chat's really going at each other tonight. Yeah, Devers certainly not a villain. That's they're going to Mexico. That's sick. How many Red Sox games have I ever been to? God, I don't know. A lot. Anytime someone leads something off in this chat with "I hate to be blunt," it's usually a really bad opinion. I'm very curious as to what yours was. Let me see. Fred. I don't think Fred said anything else, but I hate to be blunt. That'd be a great answer, Ray. For real. In my opinion, everyone's making such a big deal out of nothing. Yeah. You know what I don't like is people calling Rafi a superstar on this team, which he isn't. If anyone, Jackie, I mean, guys, come on. No, Fred, I was curious as to what you were about to say. What do you mean Rafi isn't a superstar? I don't even know. Like, I'm not even gonna fight someone on that. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's a great question, G. Rafi's closer to Gleyber Torres than the actual superstars of this league. Let's play a game, shall we? Let's play a game of, is this comment intellectual or are they just cranky about Rafi's latest statements? Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to place your bets. Is this an intellectual comment? Oh, this was just 2024. Let me do his whole career here. Career, Gleyber Torres. Is this an intellectual comment, or are they just mad about one thing Rafael Devers said? Let's see. Rafael Devers, better batting average by a pretty decent amount, better slugging percentage, or better on base percentage, better slugging percentage, better OPS plus, more RBIs, a lot more home runs, a lot more RBIs, for being honest, more championships, more all-stars, more silver sluggers. You decide. Less stolen bases, though. Yeah, true. True. Oh, yeah, there you go. Maybe they mean closer to Torres geographically. New York is closer than LA. Got it. This is a baseball reference, by the way. Anyways, guys, I am going to leave it here for the night. I'll just leave this for you. God, my cat bit me today. He fell. I grabbed him and he bit me because of it. So we'll be here tomorrow with a video, Saturday with a video, obviously. If you haven't already considered subscribing to the channel, please consider doing so. Maybe by the next time we are live, there is a solution to this conversation. We can stop having this dumb conversation. Underrating Rafael Devers. Regardless, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you. Baseball's around the corner, and as you can tell, as people start to get heated, it means that the Red Sox are prominent again. It means the Red Sox are right around the corner, and that's fantastic. Just means baseball's on the horizon, folks, and that's what matters. Thank you all to everyone who donated, by the way. I appreciate you. Mike, special shout out to you. 5 gifted subs before we even went live. I appreciate it. Members, again, we will be tomorrow. 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here. We'll be doing our giveaways, which will be a ton of fun. As always, ladies and gentlemen, outside of that, I appreciate you all. Thank you all. Oops. Thank you all very much for being here. Ended that too early. And I'll see you all in the Red Sea.